Ulverton, Quebec in round 6 of the Snaffle National Motocross Championships. Hi, I'm Eric Hollow. Sunny, hazy, warm, and just a slight breeze. Perfect day for motocross. Track conditions should be great. As we start this weekend here in Quebec, we have a new leader atop the board. Marco Dubé, the number 2 bike, is sitting on top for the first time this year. Blair Morgan right behind him. Jean-Sébastien Roy, who missed 2 races, is sitting in 3rd. Marty Burr. Those 4 are the ones that are going to take the championship. At least one of them will. Chris Pomeroy, he's going to be out, and certainly to slide down the list of the top 10 this weekend. He's out with a concussion. Bill Wallen, veteran, still hanging in. And behind him, Darcy Lang, the 15-year-old rookie, doing a great job this year. Ryan Gold, he is hooked up this weekend. He should have a great weekend, going very fast. And Lane Oslansky and Brett DeVries round out the top 10. Mark Travers is standing by with our current points leader, Marco Dubé.
Well, if the season were to end today, this plate right here would read number 1, and that would make this man right here, Marco Dubé, the national champion. Marco, you're in first place after 5 races. You got to be excited about how the season's progressed so far, but you're going to have a big adversary today. Jean-Sébastien Roy is back. What are you going to have to do to stay on top?
I just need to stay consistent, get a good start every moto, and stay relaxed on the bike, smooth, and just do my best.
Well, you have to be excited about racing here in Quebec. You got a lot of family and friends here, some support, and you know this track, so that's got to give you a little bit of a confidence boost.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends around here, and my family is gonna come out, and it's gonna be a good motivation for me. And this track is sandy, and I like the sandy track.
Yes, no doubt. We were watching you guys practice this morning, very fast, and there's some really fast sections, a lot of water, a lot of sand. It's going to be a good ride.
Yeah, for sure, and it's going to be a very good, passing line also with Jean-Sébastien Morgan, for sure.
Well, the stage is set for some very exciting racing this weekend. Back to you, Eric.
Well, the man who will be all over Marco Dubé today is Jean-Sébastien Roy. Jean, you had 2 races away from here. Can you make it back? Is everything okay?
Well, seems like I can make it back, just depending on how Marco does. If he's riding well and the top 3 every moto, I don't think I can catch up, but I was not planning to win a Canadian championship. If I win it, it's great, but if I don't, I mean, at least if I can win pretty much all the races I'm doing it, that's going to be good for me.
Marco can beat you. He's proven it on the track. He's the only one that's beaten you.
Yeah, he's the only one who beat me in the 1-5, that first moto in Barrie, Ontario, so it's going to be really, really tough for me today. It's going to be fun too. So,
you just got off the track, obviously. How do you find it?
Well, hopefully it's really muddy this morning. So the water, a lot of the tracks, so we don't have any. So won't be any dust today, hopefully. And it's really, really smooth this morning, but it's going to get rougher during the day. So we'll see.
Well, usually the whole shot's such an important part of the race. But for you, you seem to be able to come back from way back when and chase down the leaders. Can you do that here today?
Yes, well, like I said, the track is really smooth, pretty much everybody's going really fast. But at the end of the day, when it gets really rough, you can come from behind. But on the 1-5, first more real smooth track, it's hard to come from behind because everybody have a really good speed. So,
who are you worried about today?
Well, like usual, Marco and Blair are both really, really good riders. So if they get a good start and they're still in good shape, they can beat me. So. But there's other riders too, a couple of riders from Quebec and Ontario, but we'll see.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Well, it's a sandy track, but it's no day at the beach. Mark?
The track here at Ulverton, Quebec is known as a natural terrain track with a deep sandy soil base, and if you have a look behind me, you can see it's got a lot of uphills and downhills and some great jumps. Somebody that knows this track intimately is former national champion Carl Valancourt. Carl, this is an incredible sight here. Tell us what it's like to be out on that track and how you yourself would attack it if you were riding today.
Well, it's a great track, first of all. It's a natural terrain track, really rough, and the promoters here have done a great job today. Water track, it's really wide, and you'll have plenty of room for passing. With the pace these guys have, obviously the top front runners, you have to get a good start. You can't start mid-pack and expect to win. The pace is too fast, so obviously get a good start, be up front right from the start, and with the track being natural, like I said, being really wide, plenty of room for passing, good action for today's racing.
Now, you've been following the series so far this season. Obviously, our top 3 riders, Blair Morgan, Marco Dubé, and Jean-Sébastien Roy. Who do you like out of those top 3 today necessary to win some motos and to take the national championship?
I think it's still early to call for the national championship. I know Marco Dubé is leading. He's won here last year. He's a really good stand rider. Can't forget Blair Morgan is always defending champion, so he's a force to be reckoned with. And I think Jean-Sébastien Roy has proved to everybody he's like the fastest man in Canada so far, but there's 2 rounds to go. And I think if I'd have to pick a winner, I'd have to put my money on Jean-Sébastien Roy today.
Fantastic. We got some great riding coming up. The gate drops next in the Snapple National Motocross Championships.
Welcome back to the Snapple National Motocross Championships. I'm Eric Hollow along with co-host Mark Travers. Look at this. The engines are revving already in the gate. They've surprised us without a parade lap this time around. These guys are anxious to get at it. Very sandy kind of a track, but the riders seem to like it, Mark.
Yeah, they do, and what's interesting is that they've been putting water on this track for a long time, you know, last 3 or 4 days to really let it soak in, and you'll notice that there's a few puddles that have developed. I think it's going to be an excellent race.
The board has already been up, and the riders are out of the gate. Here goes the sprint to corner number 1. The whole shot, all eyes. Is it going to be number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy? Hasn't grabbed a lot of hole shots, but has won a lot of races. This time it's going to be number 2, Marco Dubé. Jean-Sébastien Roy is in second. Number 4 rounds out the top 3. Then it's followed by number 83. And a great start for Jean-Sébastien Roy. All the riders seem to get through nice and clean through corner number 1.
Very impressive start. Marco Dubé had the lead going into the turn. He held it. Jean-Sébastien Roy went a little bit wider, and he came out of there in second place. Great start.
On this track, after the first corner, it is a very wide open, sweeping corner they go into, and it's a beautiful start. Just full throttle as they go through there. Riders now out and away. It's still going to be number 2, Marco Dubé, who leads the pack. Jean-Sébastien Roy now falling off the pace just a little bit. He's not going to challenge just yet. Mentioned he hasn't got a lot of hole shots. We talked to him about that before the racing started this weekend. He doesn't seem too concerned about it.
No, it never seems to mind him. And what he does is he rides a very scientific race where he lets like somebody get out in front of him, and he tracks them very well, looks for an opportunity to pass, and then makes his move. And don't forget, Dubé and Sébastien Roy are very familiar with this track. They live close here. Although they only ride it once or twice a year, they've had a good history here, and I think they're both very comfortable on this terrain.
At number 4, Marty Burr, who rounded out the top 3, and then we checked in with number 53, who also had a really great start. There's our leader, number 2, Marco Dubé, grabs the first lap in this Moto number 1 here in Ulverton, Quebec, round 6 of the Snapple National Motocross Championship. Nice lead for Marco, not insurmountable for number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy, back after a 2-race absence. Number 83 will be in third spot, then it's number 4, Marty Burr.
Yeah, Darcy Lang, that 15-year-old rookie that we keep talking about, he's a sensation. He's up in third spot right now. He's having a great second half this season.
Darcy Lang has got a future. This kid is just so hot and getting better each and every weekend we see him. Well, it is number 2, Marco Dubé, who leads. Jean-Sébastien Roy, number 80, is in second spot. Number 83, Darcy Lang. Then number 4, Marty Burr. Then it's number 1, Blair Morgan. Let's not count on that. He's in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, he was back into the top 10, probably even outside of the top 10 coming into that first start, but he has made his way up. You know that Blair Morgan is going to be very aggressive today. He's got no room to let go here.
Well, our new leader is now number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy. The last lap, he got him. He got Marco in a spot that we just couldn't see around a hill. So now Jean-Sébastien Roy has got the lead. It's number 2, Marco Dubé now must chase down Jean-Sébastien Roy and stay as close as he can to him to gain valuable points. Jean-Sébastien Roy, he is through. Lead doesn't look any more different. Behind him, number 2, Marco Dubé held the lead for about a lap and a half, maybe 2 laps. Could not hold off the charging Roy. Behind now, number 2, Marco Dubé, is number 1, Blair Morgan. This kid is on fire this weekend, and we said it last time around too, but he had an awful time in the Forest Moto. Last weekend was not his best, but sure is looking sharp now.
Well, one of the things about Blair Morgan that we've noticed about Jean-Sébastien Roy is that even if they don't get the hole shot or get a start where they're in the top 3, those riders are able to make their way up into the top 5 or top 4 based just on their performance and their abilities. And that's a strong quality in them, especially when you're talking about not getting a good start, the ability to come back. And what's interesting about this track is how quickly the leaders were able to come up on the slower bikes and lap them. Normally you don't see that until later on, maybe 15, 17 minutes into the race, but very earlier on in this race, the front runners were already passing the slower bikes.
Let's run through it again. Number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy is our leader. But look at this man, number 2, Marco Dubé. He has dropped down to third position. Blair Morgan is now in second spot. So Blair, we talked about the gap closing. I'm thinking that something's going on with Marco Dubé. He had a good start. He could seem to pick it up again in the middle part of this race, and now is beginning again to drift back. Blair Morgan taking advantage of that very nicely. Wow, what a beautiful ride for number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy. He just amazes me. He's on his last lap now. The guy rides so smoothly. He's so methodical about the way he rides.
He is, and he's in very good control of his bike, too. Weight positioning, coming into corners, how he accelerates, his braking. He's a master, and just watching him is watching the best there is in Canada. There's no doubt about that. Another thing, Eric, we had mentioned before about how sandy the soil is in this track. It's interesting you see where the dark spots are, where the water's holding this track. We noticed that Ryan Gold is down in that below that bottom, that big tall uphill section.
That's a shame for Ryan. He was having a nice ride in 5th position, safe and sound there. But we're back with our leader now. His body position is fantastic. When you watch him, you can write a primer on how to ride a motocross bike. Checkered flag flies for number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy. A familiar sight. One more time is returned to the Snaffle National Motocross Championships. Well, it was a beautiful ride for him, but an impressive ride for many of the riders, as we talked about. Blair Morgan has got to be pleased with his performance. So here we go, the first moto of the day. The big boys have all scored points. We'll be back with much more on the Snaffle Motocross Championships. I'm Eric Hollow and my co-host Mark Travers. A beautiful look at the countryside from Ulverton, Quebec in round number 6. Let's take a look at the results from the first moto of the day. Mark?
Yeah, no real surprise in the top 3, Eric.
You know, everybody kept pace, though. Blair Morgan finished 2nd. Marco Dubé 3rd. Those guys had to be up there to get those important points because Roy is winning.
No doubt about it, valuable points. But how about Darcy Lang finishing 4th? You know, he had a very strong Western swing. We saw some very impressive racing from him. And look at that, 4th place in the first moto here today in Ulverton.
Well, the 32nd board is up. The 250 class in moto number 1. You know, Dubé still leads the overall championships at this stage. Morgan is still 2nd. Roy is still 3rd. Jean-Sébastien Roy with that win only grabbed a couple of extra points, so each moto becomes more and more important. Both Dubé and Morgan must finish well.
Yeah, they have to finish in the top 3 to maintain those points. That is if Jean-Sébastien keeps winning, keeps taking the checkered flag. You're right, points are very important here, Eric.
Riders are ready. They're in gear now. The engines begin to rev. Gate is still up. The gate now drops. The competitors launch these powerful 250 machines towards corner number 1. It's the whole shot. Who's going to be first in? Who's going to be first out of that corner? Looks like everybody has made it through very nice and safely. It's going to be number 44, Marty Burr. And look at this. Number 11 makes a sprint to the outside and takes Jean-Sébastien Roy for 2nd spot.
Yeah, Doug DeHaan, number 11 on the Kawasaki. Fantastic start for him. Currently right now in 2nd place, running right behind Marty Burr.
We'll talk about Doug DeHaan in just a minute. He's a fascinating story, but look at this great start for number 4, Marty Burr. I don't think he's had a better start all season.
No, that might just be his first whole shot of the season, and you're right. It's great for him to get out the gates, get out in front, and he hasn't led a race for too long this season. Let's just see how he does. Maybe he can hold it for a while.
Well, my goodness, now we have Jean-Sébastien Roy. Looks like he's grabbed back in 2nd spot. Marty Burr is still safe and sound in 1st as a get close to completing lap number 1 here. But Dougie DeHaan, we had not factored him in at all. He hasn't been here all season. An injury kept him out last year, but now he is back. He could be a factor in this race.
He certainly could. Great start for him, and that just goes to show you a good rider, even though he hasn't been competing, can get himself in gear and out in front early.
Look out, Marty Burr. Jean-Sébastien Roy is now trying to hunt down 1st position, as we've seen each and every time this season. Jean-Sébastien Roy does not need the whole shot to be a leader of a race, and now he's beginning to track him. The gap begins to close between 1st and 2nd place. Marty Burr holds that down. Jean-Sébastien Roy now makes a move on the outside. They head up that hill, and he's got him. Jean-Sébastien Roy. It doesn't take long as they just go across to complete lap number 1. He now leads this moto in the 250 class.
When we talk about speed, Eric, that is an incredible burst of speed on an uphill climb, too, which is very impressive.
Number 2, Marco Dubé just takes number 11, Doug DeHaan. So Dubé will now sit in 3rd place. Look at this. Blair Morgan is back in 9th position right now. He has much ground to gain.
He does, and keep in mind, though, Eric, that the Blair Morgan right now is leading the points in the 250. It's been a stronger bike this season, so hopefully we'll be able to see him make his way up to the top of the pack. Here's a good look at Jason Thorne, Eric. Now, Jason has not yet placed in the top 10 in the 250 class yet this season, and yet this is 2nd race of the day. We've seen him in the top 10. That's a really good ride for him. Look at this. Eric, we just had Marco Dubé pass Marty Burr for 2nd place. Look at that, right in that bottom corner on the uphill swing.
There he is, number 2, Marco Dubé, needs those points badly. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, and that is keep pace with our leader, number 80, Jean-Sébastien Watt. And we have another rider down, too. Could that be Doug DeHaan? I think that is. Doug DeHaan has gone down. Looks like he hasn't re-injured anything. That's the good news. The battle that is beginning to pick up now is between number 4, Marty Burr, and number 83, Darcy Lang. That's the battle for 3rd position overall. And those two are very close. There goes Jason Thorne. He just screams by Doug DeHaan. And picks up another spot. He now puts himself into the top 10.
Fantastic. That was a great pass for Jason Thorne. You know, he hasn't been able to get a lot of speed out of his bikes this season. He's had a couple problems and a couple of DNFs, but his bike certainly looked like it was handling well there.
Back with our leader, number 80, Jean-Sébastien Watt, continues to dominate on his return here in Ulverton, Quebec, round number 6 of the Snapple National Motocross Championships. Look at this. Here is Blair Morgan. We talked about number 214, who is now beginning to press Blair Morgan. I don't think Blair Morgan has slowed down any at all. 214 has really picked up the pace. Makes a move on the outside as he got Blair. He accelerates right past Blair Morgan. Unbelievable.
Very impressive. He took him on the wide side, which was the spot that we've seen a couple of riders have some problem in, some of that deeper sand. Don't count Blair out right now, though. Look at that. He's got the inside line. Nice. Oh, an excellent block. Nice move by Blair Morgan. Eric.
Very close. Handlebar to handlebar. I thought Blair was going down on that one. That was so close.
Good shot here, Eric. Number 83, Darcy Lang. Remember, we keep telling you, he's 15 years old, rookie of the season this year. Unbelievable. He's currently riding in 3rd place. Boy, I'm very impressed with how Darcy's been riding, competing with some of the more experienced riders, really showing well. And, boy, he has got to be happy. And how about Kawasaki's got to be happy, too, with his performance so far this season.
And we talk about Darcy hanging on to 3rd spot. The fact is he's holding back number 4, Marty Burr, and there's experience behind him. So he indeed is doing a great job. Watching our leader, number 80, Jean-Sébastien Watt, making it look just like a Sunday afternoon ride. Out through the mud hole one more time. He takes a quick look behind him. Would he miss a gear? Or he seems to be touring at this stage. And I'll tell you something, he can. He's got such a huge lead. It's almost 25 seconds right now.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. You marked him on that last lap, and there was a 20-second gap. So you're right. This is a Sunday afternoon ride in the park. And one thing he has to do is just concentrate on not making a mistake, and he'll take to the checkered flag without a problem.
Marco Dubé still in the 2nd spot. You think he can afford to just back off like that? Can he just take it a little bit easier?
Well, Eric, we've done the math, and if he finishes 2nd place in every single race, and even if Jean-Sébastien wins every single race, he'll still take the number 1 place, so he can do that. But don't forget, it's difficult to finish 2nd place, with the caliber of riders that are out there. So,
checkered flag now out for number 80, Jean-Sébastien Watt. He takes it 2 motos in a row. The homecoming for Jean is complete now. Well, at least the first 2 motos. 2nd place, there he is, Marco Dubé. Great finish for him. He's got to be pleased to gain those big points. We're looking for 3rd spot. It should be number 83, Darcy Lang, and that would be just an incredible ride for Darcy one more time. 4th position should be number 4, Marty Burr and Blair Morgan, rounding out the top 5. We'll wait for official confirmation from our scorekeepers on that one. Well, we'll be
5-second board up, Eric.
Here they go. Riders poised, ready. Engines now revving high. Gate drops. Riders vault towards corner number 1. Look at the wheelie one of them's got into the corner. Who's going to grab the first in and the first out? The whole shot as they round the corner. We'll wait for it to be number 2, Marco Dubé, followed by number 24. Then it's number 83, Darcy Lang. Marty Burr is also in there. Look at that, 24. What a great start. Grabs the 2nd spot out through corner number 1. Marco Dubé, number 2, with the whole shot. No shot of where Jean-Sébastien Watt. There he is, way back there. He's going to be back at about 4th place, maybe even 5th. Not a great start for him.
No, not a great start, but we've seen this before from Jean-Sébastien Watt. It's just a matter of time before he systematically works his way back up to the front.
Now Jean-Sébastien Watt looks like he's going to pass number 83, Darcy Lang already. That looks like it could be the battle for 3rd position already. So Jean-Sébastien Watt is not wasting too much time as he begins to move already. Still, it is number 2, Marco Dubé, who is now leading. The second time he has led this weekend, and second time in the 125s. He led only briefly for about 2 laps. Number 4, Marty Berg, great shot of him. All battling for positions. Everybody is very, very close together so far.
Yeah, that's a good start for Marty Burr. I think he was in 3rd spot coming out of the first turn, and worked his way into 2nd. So it's a good spot for him. Look, Darcy Lang just took Simon Belzile. He's now currently in 3rd spot.
Simon Belzile now has Jean-Sébastien Roy on him. He has not given up. Side by side with Darcy Lang as they go in. Oh, Darcy almost dumps it. He hit a very bad run with his foot there.
And you see how a little mistake like that cost them, at least 15, 25 feet. So it's very important. They have to stay and maintain their focus and run through the corners.
Ouch, that hurt. You feel it all the way through the shin bone all the way up here. Watching Blair Morgan, number 1, by the way, he is currently in 8th position, so he's well back and, again, has his work cut out for him. Has not had great starts today.
Eric, I think Jean-Sébastien Roy has fallen. He is currently riding behind Ryan Gould. He might have taken a spill or dropped the bike for a second there. Looks like he's dropped back a few positions.
Marco now goes through. He has got a large lead between himself and Marty Burr. Look at this. Jean-Sébastien Roy is down. He is banging away at the handlebars. Something is wrong. He is not going to finish well in this race. Oh, what a disappointment. It has all of a sudden come crashing down on Jean-Sébastien Roy. There we go. The distance between first place, number 2, Marco Dubé, and number 4, Marty Burr, is looking about 15, 16 seconds.
Eric, we talk about... Oh, there he goes. Blair Morgan just took Marty Burr on the outside. No, I tell you what, some fantastic racing by Marty Burr. He blocked him on the inside, took that correct line, and there he is still in 2nd place. But I tell you, what a battle.
He's holding him off. Blair Morgan came out really out of nowhere. Here makes a charge on the inside as he got it this time. Much faster line, outbreaks him into the corner. Blair Morgan is now in 2nd place. Marty Burr drops 1 spot. Now, Jean is on the chase.
You know, Eric, if we think about how dominant Jean-Sébastien Roy has been in the racing so far this season, this is the kind of racing that we really like to see. You get a lot of top riders, somebody that's battling for a position. Look at him go. Sébastien Roy is just so hungry.
Here he goes on the inside. He looks like he's got Marty Burr, just outpowers him up and over. He had just way more speed going through that corner. Well, there he is, top 3 now. He's made back a few. It's just a joy to watch this young man drive. He really is putting on quite a show, whether he's leading a race or, in this case, trying to catch the rest of the field. Back with our leader, number 2, Marco Dubé. He has a commanding lead. Last check was 19 seconds between himself and 2nd place, number 1, Blair Morgan. But the concern is now, for Blair, it's got to be Jean-Sébastien Roy, number 80, who has made up several places and is now closing in on Blair Morgan. Jean-Sébastien Roy is very close. Look at this. Nose to tail. They're going to be getting the indication for 1 lap remaining the next time they cross the finish line. 1 lap. Jean-Sébastien Roy has just screamed by him. He just takes a Blair Morgan, now goes inside. It's side by side. They hit each other. They hit each other. Both remain on their bikes. Blair Morgan has now got it. Up and over. Jean-Sébastien Roy has to back off. He was on the outside.
Oh, that was very impressive. Now, did you see how Blair Morgan got slowed down by that slower bike? Sébastien Roy took him on the inside. What a battle. Blair Morgan given total points for blocking him off. And just some impressive riding. Wow, how exciting.
Beautiful riding on both parts. They managed to stay on the bikes. The machinery is all intact. Well, there it is. The pass has been made. Blair Morgan now drops back to 3rd position. All eyes now for the finish line. And number 2, Marco Dubé, checkered flag. And number 2, Marco Dubé, a happy camper he is, and grabs the win and big 25 points.
You know that's an extremely important race, but here we go, right to the battle, right to the end. Oh, I tell you what, Morgan and Sébastien Roy, right to the end, they were battling out.
Jean-Sébastien Roy, the bit between his teeth, put on a great show. Welcome back to the Snapple National Motocross Championships. I'm Eric Hollow along with Mark Travers from Ulverton, Quebec in round 6. The second 125 moto results are in. There's a little bit of a surprise there. What a great ride for Marco Dubé.
Well, he got the whole shot, Eric, and that just goes to show you how important that is. But how about that ride for Jean-Sébastien Roy? He had a problem with his bike, and he was working from way back in the pack, 11th to 12th. Made his way back to 2nd place. That was a very aggressive ride.
Rounding out the top 3 are the 3 guys that are going to vie for the championship this year. And that's Blair Morgan. The riders all in the gate now. Look at them checking the equipment. We talked about the equipment before, and that they have several sets of equipment to keep it clean. One for practice and one for each single moto. And of course the bikes, you can see them cleaned with the Karcher spray washes, looking beautiful after each and every moto.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time getting themselves ready, and you got to look good on the line. There's no doubt about that.
It's a tense moment for these riders. They're getting ready. They've picked their spot behind the gate that they want, move the bike into position. They've got their crew members shading them. Engines now begin to rev. Gate drops. There go the riders. The drag race is underway towards corner number 1. Jean-Sébastien Roy, can see, is well back already. Who's going to grab the whole shot? First into corner 1, and first out is going to be number 2. Marco Dubé does it one more time. Look at this. Number 4, Marty Burr is in second. Number 12, Jason Thorne. What a beautiful start. And Blair Morgan is right in there too. Jean-Sébastien Roy well back in the pack now. He's going to start in the top 10, but well back.
Yeah, Marty Burr currently in second spot. Good start for him. That's a couple of really good starts for Marty Burr.
Marty Burr, pretty consistent weekend so far he's had, but so has number 2, Marco Dubé. This guy knows exactly what has to be done to hold on to the championship lead, and he's doing. Marty Burr passes him on the outside, but he's not going to have enough to hold on. It is Marco Dubé, Marty Burr, 2 and 4 battle for the lead already. This is early. This is not even one lap completed yet, and side by side. They must be careful not to touch here. Marco Dubé wins that battle for now. Number 4, Marty Burr breaks it off, but now goes on the inside. He's not going to have enough to do it over the finish line to complete lap number 1. But Marco Dubé already has a lot of competition on his hands and has to deal with number 4, Marty Burr, who's passed him again.
Fantastic. That's a great first lap for Marty Burr. You know, we've seen him lead in a few occasions, but lose the lead. Here he pressed for the lead, and now he has it. Excellent riding, Marty.
He heard our questions, and now he's beginning to answer them. Sure, I can lead a race. And now he is doing it. Number 4, Marty Burr. Number 2, Marco Dubé. Marty Burr, by the way, really is kind of out of the points hunt for the championship. However, he has had a great weekend and would love dearly to grab a checkered flag here. Marco Dubé, then it's number 12, Jason Thorne. Number 1, Blair Morgan's in there. And then it is Jean-Sébastien Roy, who has just made a move and now moved into that group, the elite group who are leading this race. He is now hunting down number 1, Blair Morgan. This is going to be a tight race. Our leader continues to be... No, now it's a drag race. Marco Dubé is going to tuck back in behind number 4, Marty Burr, for just a moment. This is a great battle for the lead. Here goes Marco. He screams by him. Sprints past, and number 4, Marty Burr's not going to have enough to answer him, at least not through that corner. Now, we'll watch number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy, who has passed Blair Morgan. So now he has moved up into 4th position behind Jason Thorne. Look out, he's coming through.
And working his dominance once again. Eric, speaking of dominance, we're lucky right now to have Carl Vaillancourt, former Canadian national champion, coming on, do a little bit of color with you. He's had a lot of experience on this track, and I think his insight on this last 250 race is going to be quite valuable. Carl?
Thanks, Mark.
Carl, a pleasure to have you along as we watch, I guess, the dominance this year of number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy. The last race was a strange one. He actually did not dominate as he has the rest of this series, but this kid is fast.
It's amazing. I talked to him between motos, and he said all he did is just a wet spot. He didn't notice. It was early in the moto. He jumped, he landed in the wet spot, and lost both wheels. Nothing he could do, but he wore himself out. He had to work hard. Did an amazing charge coming back from mid-pack to second.
He's got to be a little tired here.
I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with the pace these guys are setting so early in the moto. The track is rough. It's been a long day here. It's hot, and these guys are tired. And so early in the moto, they're battling hard, and it's just amazing. Shows you all the conditioning these guys are in right now.
Let's talk about this. The leader right now. It's number 2, Marco Dubé. He's had a pretty fantastic weekend. We get back now, and look at this. Jean-Sébastien Roy makes a move on number 4, Marty Burr. He's not going to do it there. How does he do it? Is it just sheer power or riding ability? The kid seems so smooth.
Well, I have to admit, this year the biggest difference with Jean-Sébastien, he's raced in the States, and his confidence level is so high. He knows he can come here and win and beat these guys. He just doesn't settle for second.
Here goes Sean again. On the outside,
it's just a matter of a few turns. He's setting them up real good. You can see he's crisscrossing the track, going from left to right. I think it's only a matter of a few laps. Few corners, sorry.
Yeah, here he goes. Exactly, a few corners when we're talking about Jean-Sebastian Waugh. There he goes. Across the finish line, he scoots past him. Number 4, Monty Bird, an experienced rider, a very fast rider.
Almost crashed there. Jean-Sebastian crossed the rut. Yeah, Marty Burr, he's been there for a long time. He's always a force to be reckoned with. And as you noticed today, he's got great start. He's consistent. But I'd have to admit, he's a better rider on a hard-packed track. Like the next race in Walton, he'll be definitely force to be reckoned with there too.
Let's get back to the championship now. We've got Marco Dubé. He's now being chased down by number 80, Jean-Sebastian Waugh. Marco really just has to finish second, keep him in sights to take the championship. That's a lot of pressure on a young man.
Well, pressure for both of these guys. They want to win the championship, and with Jean missing a couple of rounds, the points chase has been tightened up a lot, and Jean-Sebastian can't afford a mistake. So is Marco. Marco, I'd say, has more to lose as it stands now because he's the leader. He's the points leader in the championship, and there's 5 motos to go, and all those points really count.
How about this guy here, number 11, Doug DeHaan. Familiar name in racing, and he's showing some superiority here today.
Yeah, it's too bad he hasn't raced all year. He's been hurt, but he's showing great speed, and I'm sure he wanted to come here today and show these guys what he can do.
Marco Dubé has just gone down, and he's gone down very, very hard.
Oh,
very hard. Jean-Sebastian Waugh has just scooted by him. Oh, Marco down. Did he get caught in a rut here, or?
As I see it, he just lost the front end. It's a wide turn, fast turn, and maybe the pressure with Jean-Sebastian affected him. He lost his concentration. That's all you need, to lose the front end.
Watch now the battle between 12 and 4. That is the battle for 3rd position overall. And it looks like, again, Jason Thorne, the young Tiger, has taken the wily old veteran.
I don't know, it looks like Marty Bird kind of left the door open. Maybe he's got a problem with the bike, but
I guess with a veteran, the nice thing about it is that the veteran will always know when he can't compete and he's just going to move over. He's not going to take any chances. How long can someone last, Carl? How old do you have to be?
I don't know, it depends. There's a few guys that will go over 30, but it always depends on your body and injuries. If you have no injuries and you stay in good shape, you can go for a long time. It'd be surprising.
It's a punishing sport. I think it's meant for the youth. I think it's safe to say.
It's pretty violent. I've been riding lately, but I don't train as much, and every time I ride my bike, I'm sore for a few days, and I say, man, that's a tough sport.
Well, Carl, I appreciate you dropping by. It was a pleasure to talk to you and get some of your insights. There he is, number 80, Jean-Sebastian Waugh, who is leading this time by default. Mark Travers joins us again. That was a hard fall that Dubé took.
It certainly was. Now, if you take a look at this track and where the sand's starting to pile up, that corner has been a trouble spot all day long. And I'll tell you what happened was that Dubé came into that on the low side. He didn't take that berm on the high side, and he got caught up in some of that shallow stuff, and he went down hard. You're right, he face planted. But you made a good point in the fact that his bike did not stall. He was able to get right back up, and he didn't lose a lot of time in chasing Jean-Sebastian Waugh.
83, Darcy Lang. Number 11, Doug DeHaan.
Eric, it's interesting to know, sorry to interrupt you there, you get a strong rider like Doug DeHaan who's been out for most of the season with an injury. He comes back on a day like today, he's just full of beans, he's ready to get going, and he presses in the top. You can see that.
He scoots by. What? He made that look incredibly easy. Here it is, masterful job of cornering and takes that position away from number 83, Darcy Lang. That's for 4th position overall. So Doug DeHaan, a nice move through the pack.
Quick shot of Jason Thorne, number 12 on the Cliffshore Honda. Boy, I tell you what, stay on your bike, Jason. You're having a great ride. Very impressive.
3rd position right now for number 12, Jason Thorne. By the way, charting the progress of number 1, Blair Morgan. He's still mired back in 10th position. There's our leader, number 80, Jean-Sebastian Waugh. Took advantage of a mistake or a misfortune that number 2, Marco Dubé, had while he was leading that race. I guess tit for tat, because Jean-Sebastian Waugh had a problem with the track also in the moto before, and Marco Dubé took advantage of it, and that's what racing's all about, at least in the dirt. We watch the battle for number 83 and 6. That is for 5th position overall now, so Darcy Lang has got his hands and arms and legs and everything else full with the likes of Bill Wallen. There's number 2, Marco Dubé, in second place. A heavy fall early in this moto, yet he doesn't seem to show any signs. He's not favoring any parts. As Carl said, he just has to forget the hurt for at least a number of minutes so he can continue. 83 and 6 continue to battle. That is a dandy battle we're watching. 83, Darcy Lang. Number 6, Bill Wallen. Bill Wallen has steadily been making his way up through the pack and is now having a great race. Jean-Sébastien Roy, number 80. He leads one more moto and heading for the checkered flag. Less than half the track now remain between himself and grabbing first place points. But number 2, Marco Dubé, is in second place. He'll also gain valuable points. Smooth and powerful. Number 80, Jean-Sébastien Roy, heading towards the checkered flag. Here it is. It awaits him. Up and over the jump. Nice race for Jean-Sébastien Roy. A little cheer. He's got to be tired. He's put on a show in the last 2 motos that's incredible.
He sure has put on a show, and you know what was nice about him was that he just waited for his opportunity to take the lead, and as soon as that mistake was made by Marco Dubé, he jumped on it and took the lead and didn't surrender it for the rest of the race.
We'll be back with much, much more on the Snapple National Motocross Championship.